Hey everyone, welcome to the review. This week was pretty good, but we're coming now to the week of the CPI and PPI prints, and things are about to get a bit hot again. And let's look at expectations for CPI. Month over month, Fed expectation is 4.124, and the market believes we will get a zero point 0.3. Probably not gonna get a zero point 0.3. And on the year over year, expectation is 3.5. Market believes we will get 3.5. Like I posted on Twitter, I think anything but a cold print will be interpreted negatively. So if we get like zero point 0.4, zero point 0.5 monthly and 3.5 or higher on yearly, things are going to get uh, bearish. And what's different this month is that we get PPI before CPI. Usually, I think we get it after. This month they are switched. We usually get CPI on Tuesday and PPI on Wednesday, I think. Now they're switched. And last month we had the CPI print, which was bearish, but got a negative reaction, and then the PPI print was okayish, wasn't hot, wasn't cold either, but it was okayish, and we got a reversal. This time I think we have the potential to play it the other way around. Like we get a PPI print that is okayish, maybe in line. The market starts believing we won't get the hot CPI print, and then the hot CPI print comes, and then we turn and do a monster red bar. If we look at the charts, uh, it's not looking extremely bearish. Like I thought we would get rejected at open if we were to get rejected, and we did, but it wasn't a big rejection. So now I think this is a bull flag, something like this. So maybe we go a bit lower, like back to, I don't know, 518 or something. Maybe like this, like 519. But this is still a bull flag. And with the narrative I just explained, this looks mm, plausible that on Monday we see some weakness as people hedge CPI. So maybe just a minus, we had plus 0.13, a minus 0.20 or something like that on Monday. Then the PPI print comes on Tuesday and the market starts celebrating that it was in line and wasn't scary. We do a surge, minimum 522 to retest this, but could go higher, but this is minimum. And the CPI print, I have to redraw this because it's too. This is around Monday close. Do this like this. To draw my closes. So PPI print on my time will be around here, like this. So basically weakness sideways until around here. Then we do a surge up, something like this, CPI print, and we dump. And we dump a lot. Target would be maybe higher than this. Let's redraw the projection. So this is curling up, the AVU up from the high, and should continue something like this. So 512-ish, 513-ish. Anyway, somewhere around here. Would probably overshoot a bit, so this is still probably the target, like 510. And then, I don't know. Depending on how hot the print is, this is still a bullish setup, like cup and handle. We do a retracement, and then we go for new highs. So this is still bullish potentially, but just the same, we could, if this doesn't hold, we make new lows here, or not make new lows, we test the lows, we go as low as 495, but this would be a longer term move, longer term, quote unquote longer term, meaning until June OPEX, we would be in a bear market. Potentially, this can set us up in a bear path until that would last until June OPEX, but it could also recover quickly, and we just don't look back. In general, market turns happen mid-month or beginning of month. So this top was end of month, beginning of month. This one was post mid-month, and now we're mid-month again. Final reversal up was beginning of month, May 1st, and now we're mid-month again and going into OPEX. Wednesday is also of expiration, so a combo of events that can make us turn back down. I don't see how we can surge up, but in the scenario in which we surge up 530, and I think it will be a fake breakout, and we still do this, but post OPEX. This should happen if in the event if we have a surge up, we should go to 530, go sideways a bit around 530 until OPEX, and we still correct post OPEX, and the outcome is the same, something like this. I'll take this out. It's obvious. So PPI print, CPI print, and potentially this or this. Target is 510. We look again at it when we get to 510, and that's kind of it. Have too many lines drawn up on this thing, but this is still bullish. And like I said, I believe the PPI print will be okayish, and we don't get a scare. And then we get a scare from CPI, and we do this. And even if we go up, 530 is the target, and it seems extremely unlikely that we can go above 530, and we will still correct post OPEX. Maybe not this much, but we shall see. This is supported by positioning in, not positioning in, by what is happening in individual names. Like Tesla still has a bit of room to drop. In theory, it should stop around here. Like if it goes, it's a bit complicated. So we went above the midpoint. We have this channel, went above the midpoint. If this is to be bullish, it should hold on the midpoint. And we are getting to quite oversold on for our RSI and stuff like that. In theory, it could do a backtest of this trend line. It's not exactly drawn correctly because of it's on a higher time frame, but let's leave it like this. So like 155-ish, definitely below 160, but not below 155. In theory, it wants to do this, and it will be bullish if it does. Tesla has been moving with China, so the theme of China outperforming can still happen. Their weekend data came in not great, not terrible. Inflation rate 0.3, 0.3. Expected 0.5 monthly, but got 0.1. Not exactly what the market wanted to see, but okayish. So, like I said, there's still room to go a bit lower, but we're getting to the point where Tesla has to bounce. And if it doesn't bounce here, ideally here, this is where it has to bounce. If it doesn't bounce here, it we could potentially even see a retest of the lows. But those lows should be bought up. Yeah, we'll have a clear bullish divergence. I think it respects this trend line. Would love to see a low retest because I'm buying this time. Not sure if we get it. Uh, I can see a case for a bounce here right now. Anyway, Apple tried to recapture this midpoint, kind of getting rejected. This RSI is very high, like it doesn't go higher than this usually. So I can see it getting rejected as well. Maybe it fills the gap. Uh, the iPad event and the I/AI event did basically nothing. They got that backlash from the uh, what's it called, the commercial. So I'm not that confident that we see this. I think it's more likely we see a drop. Maybe fill this gap here. Let me see. This is a level, so yeah, this would be a target. So back to 175 would be reasonable. Fill this gap and then go up potentially. Nvidia, I posted about this one on Twitter. We have a ghost print that was right before close on Tuesday. Uh, didn't take a screenshot, but basically this candle here was fully red, and I got confused, looked at what it did, and it was like minus 172. So what the fuck was up with that candle? So I marked it, and it seems plausible we get a pullback. I would say it's going to come on earnings, but that's way too far away. So we have a lot of events before that, um, until the 22nd. So we have another week and a half. I don't think this waits another week and a half until it does a move. And this is rising wedge, usually bearish, having a hard time retaking 900 and sticking above it. Did once, but then immediately went below it, tried again, got rejected, tried again, got rejected, tried again, got rejected. I think it's coming very close to breaking down and doing at least a move like this. Google, not really anything. Might get rejected here. If it goes below this trend line, it's bearish short term and should do this. Amazon retesting the highs. This is bullish longer term. Looks like the market with a cup and handle, but it needs to do the handle and doesn't necessarily need to do all of this, like going to 140, but it should be doing this to 167. Microsoft, I posted this a while back or drew it a while back, I don't remember. Head and shoulders kind of setup. Should get rejected. Maybe it loses this, maybe it doesn't. That kind of looks like Nvidia. Almost fill the gap here, so a bit more upside room to go. Show color. What I mean by similar to Nvidia. It has this kind of rising wedge thing. Is usually bearish. Not always, but expectation is that when it is, this is gets rejected and we do another AVU up test. This look quite constructive longer term. Like I would love to see this type of move in something like Meta because it's very, very bullish longer term. Not super longer term, but after this pullback, if it holds the AVU up again, this is super bullish. Netflix getting rejected at the high area retest as well. Again, seems plausible that it does something like this. That's kind of it. On the other hand, stuff like value stuff, we had oil looking bullish. We had Zim with continuation, like Zim. I posted this when it crossed the 200 MA breakout plus 200 MA cross. Didn't open a position unfortunately, and it's been going nuts since then. H was SY took the 200 MA and bullish shove into this 200 area, and we closed above it. So this has the potential. I don't think this will move like this anymore. It should go directly. So energy, some value plays. MACD looked good, like with this somewhat bullish divergence RSI, like double go to low, drop from earnings, retest this low here, and impulsive move up. So utilities were looking okay, but I think they're overextended. So XLU, this is consumer staples, XLP, I think. Yes. Slice XLY and Amazon. utilities overextended, got a bit of a rejection. That's why I exited Dominion, or not exited, trimmed uh, for this type of pullback. Again, still very bullish longer term, but short term, I think we see something like this in utilities, including Dominion, and then we make maybe new highs. If this doesn't hold, doesn't it's not that good. So consumer staples, yeah. Look at this. Close above horizontal resistance. Like D, Evans Bucks had some bullish flow on Friday. I was waiting for it to do something like this, go to this demand area and load up at 70, but it didn't. I still have my position that is down a lot, like 70%, but whatever. So those books had some bullish flows to ATC, it's 80 around here. We'll see if it goes higher. But the value stop looks okay. Even oil, it, it's it's holding this AVO up area. If we get another push down on Monday, it's bearish, like we go lower, at least to 75. But I'm not sure we will. This this is still kind of bullish. Like I would assume it will hold and just fake out and do this. Um, that's why I was bullish on the oil names. So yeah, that's kind of it for now. Uh, expect some outperformance from XL, not utilities, XLP, consumer staples. So expect some outperformance for consumer staples. Expect outperformance for Chinese stuff, and this includes Tesla and Starbucks and Nike. Let's look at Nike a bit. And it went down, but also kind of making a bottom. This is like this. So not quite ready, but anything with exposure to China, I think will outperform. On Monday, it should be bearish. So might do this, fake breakdown, and then do this. Because of the Chinese data that wasn't spectacular. If we get Chinese outperformance on Monday, it's a clear sign that sentiment has changed. So if we get bullish China on Monday, expect Tesla to also follow, expect Starbucks to also follow, expect Nike to also follow. And it's an obvious sentiment change on Chinese stuff. And even bad-ish data, or not as good as the market expected, gets a bullish reaction. If we get that, expect Chinese stuff to outperform moving forward, and very high chance that we have started a bull market in Chinese equities. Is it? This is in need of a pullback, but if we don't get it, still very good. We're almost at 20k. VIX still not hitting 12. VVIX, we have this ghost print, remember, that will mark our top in VIX. It seems plausible to me that we still go a bit lower, like, I don't know how low. For VIX is 12, but for VVIX, I don't know how low. Maybe was the bottom as well, because VVIX usually goes up before VIX goes up. So we might get a day in which VVIX is up like 5-10% and VIX is down like 1-2%. We get our push to 12. Anyway, yeah, enough for this week. Have a good one. Bye bye.